Hello and welcome to another time in the shed. Our guest in the shed today is a man who was paralyzed for 38 years, and it's the story of his healing. Let's read from John chapter 5, verse 1 following. Sometime later, Jesus went up to Jerusalem for a feast of the Jews. Now there is in Jerusalem near the sheep gate a pool, which in Aramaic is called Bethesda, which means house of mercy, and which is surrounded by 5 covered colonnades. Here a great number of disabled people used to lie, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed. One who was there had been an invalid for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned that he had been in that condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone there else gets down ahead of me." Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." And at once the man was cured. He picked up his mat and walked. We're considering these stories from John because each of them gives us a sign. And we are trying to understand the significance of the sign. The first incident was in the wedding in Cana of Galilee, John chapter 2. And the significance of that sign was Jesus lifts everything to a far higher quality. He lifts life onto a higher plane altogether. He's the Lord of quality. And the second sign was the healing of the royal official's son. The royal official was in Cana, and the son was lying sick unto death in Capernaum. But one word from Jesus, "Your son lives." And the son got better. And it was a sign that the power of Jesus by his Spirit is not contained in one particular place, in one location. He speaks and the effects are heard miles away, kilometers away, hundreds of miles. He's not contained by space or distance at all. By his Spirit, his power is made manifest in where he chooses. And then now today is the third sign. And what's the significance of this sign? Well, I don't know if you noticed the number of times or references made to time. The man had been paralyzed for 38 years. He's at this pool, which from time to time is troubled, the water's troubled, and the first one in gets cured. Now, some people would explain this away as a kind of spring or a natural phenomenon, but there's something supernatural happening here, surely. And he's waiting for that time when the healing will take place. And Jesus comes to him, and of course Jesus knows all about him. That's a lovely reminder, isn't it? That Jesus knows about each person. And he comes to him and he says, "Do you want to get well?" And the man, I suppose, is looking to the means. "Oh, if only I can get into that pool and be the first one in, I will be healed." And there's nothing wrong with means. God uses means, but standing by him is the source of all power. All authority and power has been given into him, into his hands. Here is the source of power. And he says, "Get up, pick up your mat and walk." And at once. So we've gone from 38 years to from time to time when a season came, there was healing. Now we've come to that moment, that instant in time. And the man believed and everything was changed. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. God is the Lord of time. And perhaps we have been struggling with something for years. But here is the one who can answer our deepest need. And in his time, he makes everything beautiful. and he will bless. Let us never doubt him, that his power is not contained in a particular place, but wherever his Spirit is at work, God has that power through his Son to do amazing things. So let's trust him. Let's bring our needs to him, and let us believe that he is the Lord of time, the one who flung stars into space, the one who created time, the sun and the moon, the one who created the days and the years. He's the Lord of time. So let us get up, obey his word, and walk into the future with him who is Lord of all. God bless you. Amen.